Everybody makes everything we say sound insane. It's a technique, and it's done by this company called. Oh God, it's so much, man. There's just so much.
It's done by what company though? Were you gonna say DARPA or?
No, it's the company that does military psyops. Is the one that I told you to go to. Cambridge Analytica.
I thought you were gonna say the other one.
So they're literally doing military psyops on the public. That's why you see people talking about Tide Pods and what Trump said last night and fucking nonsense.
Distractions.
He had the sex with the hooker. Okay, so he had sex with a hooker. That makes him like, if you look at any statistics for people that cheat, right? It's 50%.
Yeah.
It's very common. There've been hundreds of studies done on it. Half of the people on the planet cheat. So half of the people running their mouth had cheated themselves, right? So that has nothing to do with the problems that we have. These corporations. We're going into a new system called technocracy. And people can't think. They don't know about it because they're not told that on their television. They only see what they're told on
their
television.
What is technocracy?
Technocracy is what you see now. Through technology, it's communism where these people at the top control everything. Uber controls every taxi on the planet and doesn't own a fucking car. Airbnb is the largest accommodation provider. They don't own a fucking building. Right? Bitcoin's the largest bank in the world. They're nowhere.
It's non-existent.
That's technology. It's controlled by technology.
You heard that that said that it's done by the NRA or whatever, or NSA, or
the
Bitcoin.
The smart grid and the Internet of Things is the new world order, right? It's going to be in your refrigerator, your toaster, everything.
It's like that movie Smart House.
If you don't do what they tell you and you have a low social credit score, you'll turn it off.
You think they're going to do Sesame credit here in America? Or you think that they already are?
There's a company here. Funny you should say that because there's a new credit company that's called Credit Sesame.
Stop.
In the U.S. Look it up.
Credit Karma.
And Credit Karma. Think about that name. Think about Credit Karma. And you think about that system in China that's mandatory now. And in China, if you have a low score, when people call you, your phone has a different ring. So they know you're on that. And if they associate with you or they like on your post,
it lowers their credit.
It lowers their score. This one guy's a journalist. He went to buy a plane ticket. They said, I'm sorry, we can't sell you a plane ticket. You're not eligible. It's powerful.
It's frightening.
But it's a brilliant way to control the public without using violence. The violence is going to be there for anybody that doesn't respond. You don't respond to that. They're going to bash your fucking face in. That's why you see all these cops killing people, and you see this is not by chance. This is by design, right? If they didn't want it, these cops would be getting arrested and it would stop. It's by design.
I was listening to some seminar and they were talking about how
the all-seeing eye. When you type into Windows, have you seen it?
What do you mean? Oh, like the flag symbol?
When you type into Windows, what happens? You've seen it 1,000 times.
It's like that's one symbol or whatever. That's the only thing.
The all-seeing eye. I'll show you. Let me show you on my computer.
And then
I don't have a password on mine right now. But when next time you go to sign on into any Windows 10 computer, right? When you look at the password box, it's blank. There's nothing in it. It's empty. You type your password in it, right?
Yeah.
The second you first touch one key on there, the millisecond that you touch that one key, the all-seeing eye appears.
Is it like planted in our brain, basically?
Printed on, yeah. Symbols are powerful.
Well, that's why.
Because your subconscious, you've seen it 1,000 times. You don't know you've seen it 1,000 times, and it's all part of a system called panspectracism, which panspectron was a prison design where they put the guardhouse in the middle, all the prisoners are on the outside, and it's a social theory also because the prisoners never know when the guards are looking at them. It's a way for a small group of people to control the prisoners. The prisoners just have to assume they're always being watched. It was designed by a French dude named Foucault. And it's an interesting because they've applied this to social theory, and that's what we have now, right? That's the purpose of the eye everywhere.
We're always watching you.
We're always, and you
like when you check out at Walmart now, they're watching you, everything you buy.
I'm a weirdo. When I'm in the store, I'm looking at the cameras, I'm looking around in class. Like I look, everybody else is normal. They're looking at the teacher, and I'm like looking around, looking at the room, counting thousands. See, I'm like a meerkat. I don't know what's wrong with me. Yeah.
Me too.
And then I look around, and I'm like, why can't I just be normal and just sit here and like pay attention and. You know?
Well, because we know that there's something greater.
But the thing is, so I see all that stuff, but other people, they don't consciously see it, right? But if I explain to them, like I was telling that dude about think about what they're doing. People don't think about it. They're watching. You twitch your face almost, boom, that's cataloged.
I try to show people that
mathematics are applied to that. It's so accurate. And people just can't comprehend it.
Well,
but when
Facebook
they do,
themselves released that video, and people still don't believe it. I try to share that video.
Facebook themselves admitted it. Now, it's interesting because in the story that I read that Facebook wrote, they said, yeah, we did. They don't mention anything about the camera. No word about the camera. It's just, yeah, we looked at what you posted afterwards. It's very benign. Yeah, we're sorry we did this experience.
In the article, but there's also a video that's done that shows you, from my understanding.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. But in the article, they don't mention any of that. But if you look at the agreement, you agree to let them access your microphone and your camera. So it's
in the fine print.
So it's conspicuously absent. How could they not take in that data as powerful as it is?
Well, you
would have to be a moron to think that they didn't.
I want to tell you something that recently happened to me. Okay, so you're definitely right about them reading our face, and it's in the contract of iPhone 2 and our thumbprint, because my bank basically just sent me a notification, oh, we can do facial recognition and we can use your thumbprint. So the bank was automatically connected to my iPhone, so I didn't have to do any verification. I didn't have to say...
iPhone. Think about it.
Iridology.
Smart grid. It's trippy, man.
Wounding grid.
It's all connected. It's so trippy. Let me show you something that's really bizarre.
The other thing I was trying to tell you, though, is about money. Basically, I listened to some sort of seminar where this guy is talking about how money is made up and how much it controls our subconscious and our psyche and how much power it has over people to the point where they're killing people.
That's how they get
and
police.
It means nothing.
That's how they get police, even though the police know they're making the world worse for their kids and their grandkids. But the cops gotta fucking, he's gotta work. The kids gotta go to school. They gotta eat.
They make decent money.
The money forces them to do
like
shit that they
know,
know it's wrong, but they're just trying to survive like all of us.
Like they have to have a quota and bring people in.
So check out this. Where'd it go? I was gonna make this, but I'll show you. I'll explain to you after I show it to you why I'm not going to.
I also show people the 60-minute segment on mind reading, and they still want to deny it, too. You know what I'm talking about?
I do. I saw it. I've posted before. It freaks people out.
It just kind of makes me angry.
Okay,
like
this is called...
how can I show you information and you still are in denial when it's just...
Because it's traumatic to them psychologically, and they can't deal with it. That's what cognitive dissonance is, because they have all these beliefs from their culture, and when you show them that, it's very plausible that they do have the ability to read minds. I'm going to show you an example here where a machine that reads your thoughts, you think about turning the light on. I can make it here. I could think about turning my light off. It'll turn my lights off.
Oh.
And you could buy it for $100.
Well, you know what's funny is that, like, that belief system stuff you're just talking about, it's like the same thing. Like, when we have this belief system
is the name of it.
Where it's like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'll never do this. It's kind of like the same thing, like, where we're programmed to, like, basically have low self-esteem.
We are, and they do it through all kind of shit, right?
Like women making them feel bad about their bodies, or
think about this. You ever go buy a vibrator at an adult store?
Yeah.
What do? They take it out of the package, they put batteries in it and turn it on. Don't you feel embarrassed? Huh?
Yeah.
Why do you think they do that?
Why do they do that?
For the exact reason you just mentioned, to fuck with your self-esteem and stomp on you, make you feel evil and dirty and bad. Psychological. They don't do that with
But it also makes you feel pressure too, because they open in the box, you're like, alright, I'll just take it, let me get out of here. You know? Or like... Wolf made fun of me because I went to the store and I bought a new toy because mine broke.
Most people
and it was buy one get one or whatever.
The problem is most people aren't smart enough to figure that stuff out, and you can't say that because.
Well, they say no, it's just protocol to sell the item.
Say you're an asshole because you're arrogant and conceited. So
when really that's a reflection of their true self.
Well, I don't know what it is. It's just you can't say that to people. You know, you gotta. But that is.
It's hard to be gentle in the teachings and like not get aggressive about it sometimes. For me, I get really frustrated.
I know that I am a little bit arrogant sometimes, but it's anybody with any sense knows that comes from having low self-esteem. So you overcompensate.
Arrogance? It comes from low self-esteem?
Yeah, so you try to overcompensate by trying to be really good at things.
Something.
Right?
That's totally me.
Me too. So I'm aware of it, and what I think a lot of people, that's how they write things off. They're just what an arrogant asshole, know-it-all, and that kind of thing.
Well, because that makes them feel bad about themselves, like, I'm not smart enough.
But it still doesn't take away from the fact that maybe that particular person does have a higher IQ, and maybe that person does know more, you know? even though they may come off as an asshole by saying that.
Well, sometimes that's also like you're saying, like their ego, like, oh, they think that they know it all, and then they try to make you feel bad and dumber just to make them feel better about themselves, kind of thing.
That's true. That's what happens. But it comes from their own, or as in my case, my own low self-esteem, right? I feel bad about myself, different things, so that's how...
So by you becoming really talented in this one area, it makes up for your self-harm or whatever.
You need the constant reassurance that you're okay. That's what Facebook's all about too, right? People need that. Here it is, mind control light switch.
No.
Yeah, you can make this yourself. I'll show you where you can buy it. It's about $100 for the band. This is like a 60-second vote, 80-second video.
Communicates with your personal devices through Bluetooth.
It's an EEG machine.
What's EG?
Electroencephalogram.
Devices with brainwaves alone. The switching is controlled by a Raspberry Pi, which is receiving commands from an Android application via socket.
Raspberry Pi is about $30.
On or off commands when the user's attention level has reached a threshold value. The Raspberry Pi receives the data and then toggles the state of the IoT power relay to turn on or off a light. To see how it works, put on the headband and switch to on. Connect to the Raspberry Pi by touching the Connect to RPI button, and if you haven't yet, make sure to go into the settings and enter the IP address of your Raspberry Pi.
Wow. So someone could do this themselves.
Yeah, it's very easy.
The app will collect data and you will see a red bar appear under Attention Level. Attention setting sets the threshold for a value between 0 and 100 that your attention needs to reach before a switch will activate. When the attention level has reached the threshold, switch command successful will appear at the bottom of your app screen and your light will turn on or off.
No. Like, people have to think that's a hoax, man.
It's not. An EEG machine, that's what they give you when you go to the hospital, right? It measures your brain waves and your heart rate and all that, right? It's a little graph. It's been around for 100 years.
It's like traumatizing.
It is traumatizing because when you look into this and you look into the research, the brain research, and you look at Elon Musk's company, what's the name of it? BrainGate, right? Elon Musk is a bright guy, isn't he?
So it's like a gate to the brain?
Well, it is. It's to interface. If you read what his company is about, I'll send it to you. It's to interface your brain with a computer. And they're going to network all of our minds together and create what's called a hive mind. And they're going to actually harvest our minds. They'll pay us universal basic income. Have you been seeing that lately?
Mm-mm.
It's amazing. People don't
What's
know.
that?
They don't tell them on the news. They don't know.
What is it?
Universal basic income. They're doing experiments all over the planet now with it. They're doing it in California, India, all over the world they're doing it. Where they give people a certain fixed income. Right? Like, I think in California they're giving them $1,000 a month, something like that. And that's what they plan to do because there's going to be, they're saying it because...
What do you have to do for it?
Nothing.
They watch you or something. There's no contract.
I believe they're going to harvest our thoughts. And what they'll create is this hive mind that Elon Musk is working on, right? BrainGate. And Facebook has their own technology of the same. It's called Building 8. Okay? Now you look into what those things... They're saying that they want to interface your brain with a computer.
Transhumanism, no?
It is transhumanism, okay. Yeah. Most people, you say that word, they don't even know what it is.
Some people do because Transformers or whatever.
But that was the purpose of it. That's what
people are freaking out, though.
What do you call that when you use television? Programming. Why do they call it programming? What do you call
that?
Spelling, that's right. What do they call it? Like smart grid. Right?
Stop. The smart thing.
iPhone.
The smart thing's
These
gonna
guys
mess me
are
up.
smart, man.
What do you call the thing
but
when
think
they
about where
the
they originated.
Think about
where they originated. It was all these brilliant minds from Germany in Operation Paperclip that we brought them here. They founded NASA and they just took off from there.
This stuff kind of like makes me nauseous.
And they withheld the knowledge from us. And dumbed us down through fluoride and culture, right? That's why that movie, what's the movie where they make fun of everybody being stupid? Jack Black was in it or whatever. What's the name of the movie?
Jack Black. Make fun of everyone being stupid.
Yeah, I forget the name. It was a very popular movie, man. I can't think of it.
It's not a new one, right?
Yeah, it's not new. It's a few years ago. Idios.
Wow, I've actually never heard of that.
Idiocracy.
I've never heard of that.
Idiocracy.
Yeah.
That's the name of the movie, Idiocracy. Like a theocracy.
Yeah.
Idiocracy. They created the people stupid by design through chemicals, diet, injection, and injunctions, as that dude said. Right?